because I don't know if you heard this rumor, but there was this rumor going around that Doug Christie was suing Chris Webber for $4.6 million because of the paternity of Jackie Christie and Doug Christie's child. So that was the rumor, that Chris Webber was really the father.
And this is crazy to come up at this big age of this child. She's in her 30s.
And so this rumor was so rampant that my girl Keys was at my house and she was like, did you hear that Doug Christie and I was like, wait, I don't know if because anyway, Chris Webber, who normally would not address such a thing, went on social media and said this.
That's why I'm going to give this friendly reminder to some of my friends out there that you can't believe everything you read, see, or hear on the internet, especially when they're all lies. No proof, just made up lies. So I'm going to take this opportunity to issue my one and only advisory. If you have a platform and you have content with my name attached to lies, take it down now. But that's that. If anyone else that wants some insight and a story or some tools of how to get through the distractions, how to stay focused during the bull.
What if I told you a handful of dirty text messages just tore down a reality queen who thought she could out a courtroom her husband and the entire internet at the same time buckle up because Jackie Christie's carefully staged TV empire is crumbling faster than her fake apologies? And guess who threw the first grenade? Chris Webber, the man she thought would stay silent forever, just dragged every filthy secret, every shady wire transfer, and every hidden hotel receipt right into the judge's lap. Doug Christie's knees buckled, the jury gasped, and even Jackie's own daughter can't look her in the eye. From fake charities to swap DNA results to a second abortion, she thought no one would ever find out about. It's all out now, and tonight you're getting every receipt, every betrayal, and every last tear. Jackie is about to cry when she realizes her empire isn't just cracked, it's scorched. Stay right here, grab a drink, because what's about to drop isn't reality TV, it's reality's funeral. Let's rewind this chaos to the exact moment Jackie Christie's house of lies started to rot from the inside out. 3 weeks ago, nobody in their right mind thought Chris Webber, yes, that Chris Webber, the calm one, the polished good guy who always ducked messy headlines, would be the one to walk into court and blow up Jackie's so-called reality queen status with a single black folder. But that's exactly what he did. Picture this: a tense courtroom packed with bloggers, court sketch artists pretending not to gasp, and Doug Christie sitting stone-faced, totally unaware his life's biggest humiliation is about to get leaked. Line by line, Chris walks in with zero entourage, a dark suit, and that plain black folder that may as well have been a nuclear bomb. Security guards side-eye him like they're guarding a live wire. Jackie, oh, she sat right in the front row, like nothing could touch her. Chin-up, makeup layered thick enough to hide last night's panic, pretending Doug's sentencing was about his mistakes and not her dirty double life. She had no idea she was seconds away from being stripped naked in front of the entire internet. The judge clears his throat, the cameras flicker, and Chris stands up calm as a ghost at his own funeral. He doesn't rant, doesn't cry, he just opens that folder, looks dead at Jackie, and says, "Your Honor, it's time the world hears what she begged me to bury." Silence, so thick you could hear Doug's lawyer mutter a prayer under his breath. Chris starts reading first the tame stuff, a few "I miss you" to win Doug's coaching lines, a flirty late-night voicemail Jackie once left him while Doug was hosting a charity game in Chicago. A few people giggle nervously, maybe thinking, this is just tabloid fluff. Jackie tries to smirk like it's all old news, then Chris flips the page. "Doug's too soft to check our charity bank statements. Wire the rest tomorrow. We'll say it's a community grant." Dead silence. Jackie stops breathing. The court reporter pauses, mutters "holy," and then keeps typing. Doug clenches the edge of his table so hard his knuckles go bloodless, and Chris, he stays icy calm, flipping page after page like he's reading bedtime stories. The next text tells Chantel she was a surprise he'd lose his mind if he knew the truth about Maui. The jury gasps out loud. A blogger's phone clatters to the floor. Jackie tries to whisper to her lawyer, but he's too busy sweating through his collar because every new line from Chris Slice's deeper secret abortions, hush-hush hotel stays in Sacramento, and Miami money stashed under fake cousin names, and a text where Jackie literally brags about how Doug signs anything if I cry pretty enough. Doug's mouth twitches like he's going to speak, then nothing comes out. Chantel, who is supposed to stay away on her therapist's orders, is said to have texted a cousin, "Tell Mom I never want to see her again." This isn't just a betrayal, it's a bonfire of every lie Jackie has ever told, burning down her legacy, while the whole world clicks refresh for more. But Chris isn't done. He pulls out a voice note, Jackie giggling at 3 a.m. When Doug's gone, it's our time. He thinks I'm at my sister's house, dumb as a rock. The audio is scratchy, but clear enough that every juror sighed Jackie like she's radioactive. The judge tries to settle the room, but the bloggers are already live on TikTok chanting #justice for Doug, while fans stitch old basketball wives clips with Chris's bombshell. And here's where it gets even dirtier. Chris didn't leak this for money or fame or a Netflix docuseries. He did it because, according to him, he's tired of carrying secrets that nearly wrecked his own marriage and sanity. He says he stayed silent because he once loved Jackie, but watching Doug crumble under lies he never deserved that flipped the switch. Now the entire country knows the truth. Jackie Christie wasn't just the queen of messy TV drama, she was a mastermind of scams, shady donations, forged signatures, and a fake fairy tale marriage built on Doug's blind loyalty. And guess what? This black folder, Chris says it's only half of what he has in the vault. Next up, secret emails, hidden baby daddy claims, and a mystery flash drive that's allegedly so bad even the judge flinched when he read the summary. So don't even blink, because by the time Chantel walks into that courtroom next week, Jackie's empire might not just be cracked, it'll be buried 6 feet under with a headline that says she did it to herself. By the time the courtroom lights flickered back on after Chris's bombshell folder reading, nobody, not even the reporters who lived for reality TV drama, could pretend Jackie Christie's secrets were just rumors. Nope, these were receipts with timestamps, voice cracks, and shady wire transfers tracing straight to her glittery designer handbags. Outside the courthouse steps looked like a circus gone feral, protesters yelling, "Free Doug!" paparazzi climbing over barricades for one blurry shot of Jackie's cracked face, and TikTokers shoving ring lights in random witnesses' faces asking, "Did you see her cry? Was it real tears or Botox leakage?" Inside, Jackie was barely holding it together. Her foundation was melting under the sweat. Her lawyer hissed at her to keep it together. For God's sake, Doug. He looked like someone had punched every ounce of breath out of him and left him there blinking at nothing. The same man who spent half his paycheck keeping Jackie's name squeaky clean in gossip columns now had to listen to strangers whisper, "Poor fool," as they passed him in the hallway. But the show wasn't over, not even close. Right after the lunch recess, the judge summoned Chris back to the stand. The courtroom murmured like a hive of angry bees. Jackie stared at him like he'd stabbed her in church, and Chris, he just tugged his tie loose and said, "Your Honor, with permission, there's more." He pulls out another envelope thicker than the first. Doug's lawyer actually tries to object, not to protect Jackie, but because Doug looked seconds away from passing out again. The judge overrules him. "Proceed, Mr. Weber." Chris starts reading again. More text messages. "We can funnel this through the Maui Foundation. Doug's signature is already on file. Don't worry, the baby was never the plan. But if he thinks she's his, he'll keep paying for our comfort." Doug whispers something to his attorney. The attorney pats his back like a grieving relative at a funeral. Bank transfer screenshots, big fat donations labeled community youth sports, but rerouted straight into an account that the IRS just flagged for investigation. A shell LLC linked back to Jackie and Chris. A blurry security clip pulled from Jackie's own security cameras. The timestamp 2:14 a.m. Same night, she told Doug she was at her cousin's baby shower. Who's on the tape? Jackie and Chris hugging under the porch light, then slipping inside like no big deal. The room loses it. One juror gasps so loud she actually covers her mouth. Jackie's lawyer tries to declare it inadmissible. "This is personal, irrelevant, prejudicial, Your Honor," but the judge cuts him dead. "You will sit down, Mr. Parker. This is fraud, not tabloid nonsense." "Continue, Mr. Weber." Chris study as a surgeon reads the final blow, a voicemail. Jackie's voice softer than the courtroom mics can even handle. "Promise me you'll always have the backup copies in case Doug ever finds out he's too soft to fight us. Anyway, he'll forgive me. He always does." This time Doug does react. He stands up so fast the bailiff lunges to hold him back. He points at Jackie, trembling so bad he nearly drops to his knees. "You lied to me, Jackie. You ruined everything bloggers are Crying for different reasons. This is the viral jackpot of the decade. TikTok explodes. People cut Chris's courtroom quotes over dramatic music, sharing it like it's the new OJ trial. One fan edits Jackie's old wedding clips with a clown face filter. The hashtag Dougs deserve better trends at #1 before lunch. And back inside, the judge tries to restore order, but the damage is done. Jackie knows it too. Her hands are pressed so tight together you'd think she's praying for a hole to swallow her. Her lawyer leans in, muttering, damage control, ideas, blame, mental distress, blame, exhaustion. We can spin the narrative, but Chris doesn't even glance at her. He just looks at Doug and says quietly, I never wanted it to come to this. But I'm done protecting the lie. Meanwhile, whispers leak that the court's financial fraud unit has already pulled every tax filing for Jackie's so-called charity work. They flagged 5 separate shell companies, all cross-wired with Chris's past donations and Doug's unwitting bank wires. One insider even claims the IRS is preparing to subpoena producers at VH1 because if they knew about this and let it run for ratings, oh baby, heads are going to roll. And guess what? There's still a sealed flash drive labeled Doug Last Truth waiting to be played next week. Word is it's so explosive it could clear Doug's assault charge by proving the mental breakdown that triggered it wasn't rage, it was betrayal so cruel it snapped him in half. Outside the courthouse, a street preacher screams through a megaphone, repent. Even reality TV can't hide the truth forever. Jackie looks out the window at her crumbling kingdom, mascara streaks painting her real face for the first time in decades, and deep down she knows the worst part isn't that the world hates her now, it's that the only man who ever shielded her from her own mess finally picked truth over loyalty and karma. It's just getting warmed up by the third day of this courtroom saga. The city courthouse wasn't just a building, it was a ground zero for a full-blown reality TV apocalypse. Lines of reporters wrapped around the block. Fans stood on milk crates just to peek through dusty windows, and every time someone yelled, Jackie's crying again, the crowd outside roared like a football stadium. Inside, the walls felt thinner. Jackie's team of lawyers looked like a pack of exhausted babysitters on minimum wage. Chris Webber, fresh suit, fresh tie, and an expression so calm it made the bafe sweat. Doug, he was silent now, seated with his shoulders squared, but his eyes somewhere far away, maybe reliving every moment. He defended the woman now shackled by her own voice notes and fake charity receipts. And then came the final act nobody dared to say out loud. Chantel, rumors buzzed through the hallway like angry bees. She's coming, and she's not defending her mom. She's got her own folder. Even a judge checked his watch twice, knowing this wasn't just another witness. This was the daughter. The entire mess had been built on the living proof of the DNA swap, the hush texts that tell her she was an accident, lines that turned a mother into a monster overnight just before the clerk could call her name. Jackie snapped right there in the courtroom. Jackie Christie, the same woman who once strutted across reunion stages flipping champagne glasses at co-stars, broke into ugly raw sobs that silenced every whisper in the room. She lurched for Doug, hands cuffed, croaking, I did it all for us, I did it so you wouldn't leave me. Doug, please, I'm sorry. Doug didn't flinch, didn't blink, didn't speak. His lawyer gently pushed Jackie back toward her handler as she wailed for mercy. Nobody had left to give. The judge cleared his throat, voice steely enough to hush the camera's clicks. Mrs. Christie, you have confessed to orchestrating fraud, perjury, and a conspiracy that spans over a decade. You betrayed not just your husband and child, but the very system meant to protect your family. The court finds you in contempt for lying under oath and obstructing justice in a felony case. Bail remains revoked. Sentencing will follow. Criminal trial. Boom. The gavel slammed. Jackie collapsed against the bafe, mascara, tears blackening the collar of her designer coat she'd once flaunted like royal robes. And just when the drama threatened to peak, the doors swung open, and there she was, Chantel Christie. No entourage, no reality TV glow-up, no fake smile, just a daughter who looked older than her age, eyes red but dry, folder clutched tight against her chest. You could feel the room exhale and hold its breath all at once. She stepped forward, voice clear but trembling like glass. Your Honor, I wish to testify, not to defend my mother, but to explain what she did to me and what she made me lie about for years. Jackie's sob turned into a muffled moan, the sound of a mother watching the last soul who might have forgiven her flip the final page. A reporter in the back corner typed so fast his laptop keys clacked like gunfire. Twitter crashed twice in 10 minutes. Hashtag #SFLU, hashtag Chantel speaks, hashtag justice for Doug, hashtag cancel Jackie forever. Outside, fans argued whether Chantel was a victim or an accomplice. TikTok influencers filmed hot takes Did you hear her say she might reveal more about Jackie's secret accounts, but inside those courtroom walls, only the truth mattered, no sponsors, no edited reunion drama, no producer whispering, "Give us tears, Jackie, ratings are down." Doug watched his daughter stand taller than he'd ever seen her, facing down not just her mother, but 1,000 lies she never asked to inherit, and in that moment, every scar Jackie had carved into this family finally had a voice. The judge motioned for the bailiff proceed, let her speak. Jackie's mouth formed words nobody heard over Chantel's steady confession. "She made me lie to you, Dad. She made me sign fake statements. She told me if I told the truth you'd leave forever. But I see now you were the only one who ever loved me without a price." A gasp rolled through the room. Doug's shoulders heaved once, no tears, just relief. So deep it looked like it hurt. Chris Webber, still bandaged from Doug's earlier hallway outburst, nodded faintly like a man who just buried a demon, and outside the world devoured every second memes, remixes, reaction videos. One clip of Jackie crying, "I'm sorry," already hit 3 million views by sundown, but for Doug Christie, none of that mattered anymore, because for the first time in decades, the truth was louder than any lie Jackie ever crafted, and it was his daughter, not his ex, who gave it back to him. When the judge dismissed the day's proceedings, Doug didn't pose for cameras, he didn't wave at reporters, he walked straight past Jackie's tears-tamed plea for one last look, wrapped an arm gently around Chantel's shoulder, and whispered, "No more secrets ever again." And just like that, the fake queen of basketball wives was dethroned by the very family she thought would never dare to tell the world who she really was. And there you have it, every hidden text, every fake smile, every dirty dollar Jackie Christie thought she could stash behind reality TV edits. Chris Webber didn't just spill tea, he poured gasoline on every lie and handed Doug the match. "But now I want your voice. Did Doug's heartbreak justify this nuclear revenge? Did Chris drop those receipts for justice or for a little fame on the side? And what about Chantel? Is she the real victim or the final nail in her mother's coffin?" Drop your unfiltered thoughts below. No sugar coating, smash that like if you believe Jackie's empire deserved to burn, and subscribe right now, because trust me, Chantel's next testimony is going to make this look like a warm-up. This scandal isn't just TV drama anymore, it's a lesson. Secrets always show up, and karma, it doesn't knock, it breaks your door off the hinges. Stay tuned, the next bomb drops soon.